In just his second year in the league, Alperen Şengün is showing off flashes of greatness, whether it be his nimble footwork and soft touch around the rim, or his incredible behind-the-back passes. Şengün is putting the league on notice that there is another great big on the rise, and he might be arriving sooner rather than later. So here are 10 reasons why Alperen Şengün will be the best center in the NBA. Number 10, overseas experience. Selected 16th overall in the 2021 draft, Şengün wasn't your typical rookie. Most players spend a year honing their game in the college scene before making the jump to the NBA. This transition is often a slow one because it's the first time many of these players consistently play against grown professionals. But for Şengün, he already had plenty of reps playing against guys much bigger and stronger than him and who had a lot more experience. Şengün began playing professionally in Turkey in 2018 when he was only 16 years old. He would develop his skill set and an understanding of the game while competing against grown men. And even with that handicap, he still managed to win the Turkish League MVP in 2021. So the jump to the NBA level has had its challenges for Şengün, but he's ahead of many of his contemporaries as he is already used to the physicality and the demanding nature of professional play. Number 9, has the respect of his peers. One of the best indicators that you have something special on your hands is when your peers begin to take notice. This has been the case recently for Şengün as his dazzling playmaking ability, along with incredible post moves, more on both of those in a little bit, have captured the attention of several NBA stars, including Şengün's idol, Nikola Jokic. The two-time reigning MVP was so impressed with Şengün's game that he commented afterward that the Houston Rockets, quote, need to play a little bit more through him. Jokic also added that Şengün is really talented and has the makings of a great player. While another star, Anthony Edwards, let some insider information out as he informed the media that Şengün is really the only player he and the coaching staff have to game plan for when they play the Rockets. So talk about respect.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, but number 28, Şengün. He good, man. He good. Yeah.
Now, one reason why Şengün has earned the respect of his peers so quickly is because of his ever-improving game. Number 8, improving three-pointer. It is no secret that the modern NBA is dominated by the three-ball. Ever since generational players like Steph Curry, there has been a gradual shift in mentality to the point where teams favor the three-point shot over the mid-range. This has also translated to the big men in the league, many of whom are expected to be able to step outside the three-point arc and splash triples when needed. During his rookie season, Şengün shot a measly 24% from three, but after just one off-season, he has improved his three-point percentage to 31%. However, this is clearly an area where Şengün can improve to take his game to the next level. When you look at some of the other bigs in the league like Jokic and Domantas Sabonis, you see that they can definitely step outside of the three-point arc and hit a shot, even though that's not their primary game. So Şengün can add another wrinkle to his game by working on his three-ball, which would open up the floor even more for drives and passes. Number 7, rebounding prowess. One knock against Şengün has been his height. At 6'9", he is one of the smaller centers in the game. He also has a below-average wingspan for a center. But still, despite being undersized against most other bigs, Şengün has done a great job cleaning up the glass. He is averaging nearly 9 boards a game, 4 more than his rookie season. And one thing that has helped Şengün is his positional awareness. He manages to get a good position most of the time, which allows him to beat his opponents for the rebound. This is especially important on defense as it limits the other team's second chance opportunity. However, there is one large area of Şengün's game that is in immediate need of improvement if he wants to take his game to the next level, and a part of that has to do with his height and athleticism. So let's take a look at the defensive side of things where Şengün can improve his game. Number 6, defensive room for improvement. As we mentioned before, Şengün is an undersized center with a smaller wingspan than most of his contemporaries. This means he isn't going to be able to protect the rim as well as other centers like Rudy Gobert or Jaren Jackson Jr. On top of that, Şengün lacks lateral speed, which causes the Rockets to play drop coverage rather than switch defense. This often leads to open shots for the other team either at the three-point line or just inside the arc. Şengün's lack of defensive awareness plays a big role in this. He is often often too far down to properly contest shots and can be out of position during screens and other plays, giving the other teams easy looks at the basket. Not to mention that Sengun bites on fakes way too much. This stuff can be boiled down to defensive IQ, which can be worked on. He can improve his defensive awareness and work on foot speed and lateral speed. These small tweaks could make enough of a difference that Sengun can be a solid defender. And once that happens, the sky is the limit for him. And it's realistic as well, seeing how much he has already improved his game. Number 5, rate of improvement. One of the biggest reasons why Sengun has the potential of being the best big in the league is because of how much he has improved his game recently. In the month of January, he is averaging 16 points, 8 rebounds, and nearly 4 assists a game with a block. There is also the efficiency factor. Not only is Sengun putting up better numbers as his usage and minutes have increased, but he's doing it at a more efficient rate. From the field, he is shooting an incredible 62%, which is almost 7% better than his previous month on more attempts, while facing more defensive pressure. So it seems like the lights get brighter, Sengun has the ability to step his game up and lock in further, a trait that all stars need. Number 4, high basketball IQ. Another trait that stars need is a high basketball IQ. Now, we mentioned previously that defensively, Sengun has some work to do, but offensively, at just 20 years old, Sengun has shown incredible flashes of his IQ, perks of turning pro at such a young age. One way that Sengun has shown his IQ is through his ability to draw fouls. All the great players understand how to take advantage of an aggressive defender, and Sengun, through his series of fakes and body control, can quickly get his defender into foul trouble. Another is his ability to change speed. As we said before, Sengun isn't the most athletic big, but neither is Jokic. What these guys do have is amazing body control, so they can slow their steps and create awkward rhythms that their defenders aren't used to. And the last but not least is Sengun's ability to find the open man. But more on that in a little bit, so stay tuned. However, not everything is sunshine and rainbows for the big man, as one area he does struggle in still is navigating the double team. Oftentimes, Sengun ends up trapped or holding the ball for far too long as the help defender comes, but with the experience and some coaching, this can easily be fixed. Number 3, still maturing. Speaking of experience, one of the biggest things that Sengun has working for him is his age. At just 20 years old, he has a very polished game with several elite level skills, so he already is starting from a higher point than most other 20-year-olds. As for the deficiencies, he has the time to improve several aspects of his game, so with each offseason, there is no reason why he shouldn't come back with a new wrinkle to his game, and the more experience he gains, the better he will become. Strength is another part of his game that is often pointed out as being a weakness. Sengun lacks the physicality to really bully his defenders to deter the opposing team from attacking the paint. But as he fills out into his body and adds on size and muscle, he should be able to do both of these things as well. But one thing that doesn't require a lot of work is his silky smooth post play. Number 2, underrated post moves. When it comes to post play, Sengun has really begun to separate himself from his peers already. He has 2 go-to moves, the floater and the spin. He busts out the floater usually on pick and rolls and has the spin moves ready when he's posting up other bigs. His spins are so effective because of how nimble he is for a big guy. He can pirouette on either foot and finish with a soft touch. Even though he isn't afraid to attack big guys, he also doesn't really generate easy shots. That's a spot where he can improve, as there are plenty of bigs who have a respectable mid-range shot, which opens up the floor further for drives and easier post finishes. If Sengun can develop a good high-arcing mid-range shot like Jokic, it would make his life that much easier. But until then, there is no doubt that Sengun will continue getting buckets, as he has shown an ability to score on anyone in the paint. Number 1, incredible court vision. Now this brings us to perhaps Sengun's greatest weapon, his incredible court vision. As the game of basketball evolves, it's becoming even more important that your big man can make some plays. Just think of Draymond Green from the Warriors, or what Sabonis is doing with the Kings. If you have a big who can make plays, it's almost as if you have a cheat code on your hands, and that is exactly what Sengun can be. Not only is he great at your typical handoffs, which allow the guards or wing players to get an easier look at the rim, but he is great at finding guys cutting to the basket and can even pull off flashy passing like no looks or behind the backs. So it is no wonder that Jokic said the Rockets should try running their offense through Sengun more, as he can make the game much easier and simpler for his teammates. And if you can make your teammates better, then you are on a superstar trajectory, as there are not too many players that can pull that off. Sengun just happens to be one of the youngest and most unique ones, which is why he has all of the makings of being the best center in the league one day. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell beside it so that you're notified the next time we upload a new video. And with that being said, you just just watched 10 reasons why Alperen Şengün will be the best center in the league. We'll see you next time.